Boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic. I might join the game and I have to be a little quiet because it's late. I don't want to wake my neighbor up, man, but I have to talk about this, man. So, you see from the title, you know it's about to be about Sony. So, I don't know what's up with Sony, man. Sony has been on some BS recently. They've been lying, doing some dirtbag stuff. They raised the cost of PSN from $50 for a whole year to $60. They won't allow cross-play with Xbox now, but, you know, before Xbox didn't allow it, now Sony's not allowing it. And I think they're being petty, too. They're like, oh, now you want to play ball? Well, nah, we don't want to play with y'all no more. We don't want to play with y'all. Nah, we being petty. I feel like that's what they're doing. Plus a whole bunch of other stuff. So, as we saw recently, they released the information on the PlayStation Pro. You know, we used to think it was the Neo, which it was codenamed Neo, but now it's called the Pro, which is going to be a stronger PS4 that runs games at a higher resolution at 30 FPS again, because apparently they don't want to do 1080p to 60 FPS because they heard the Scorpio is supposed to be 4K, so they were like, oh, we got to be the first one to do it, so we're going to say we're going to run it at 4K. When literally it's not even natively 4K, it's upscaled to 4K. And now they're saying that their first party games are going to be 4K native, but I don't know how they're going to do that because 4.2 teraflops is not going to do it. A 10 point, what is it, 11 point something? I think the Pascal is like 11 point something, or a 10 teraflop card. That guy can't even barely do 4K at 60 FPS. So I don't understand how these, you know, 6.2 for the Scorpio, or even 4.2 definitely for the PlayStation is going to do that natively at 4K. So I'm expecting a whole bunch of trickery, as in dynamic, dynamic resolutions, and the game's running at medium settings, which is pointless when especially you're going to be running 30 FPS with a game that doesn't look nearly as good. That's stupid. But anyway, so they've done those dirtbag things. So at the same conference, they were like, and we're also going to have HDR gaming for the PlayStation 4 Pro. And they did a demo, and they were like, and for the owners of the vanilla PS4, we're going to drop a 4.0 patch, and it will include HDR for all the previous PS4 owners. So you guys will have the same experience as the PS4 Pro players. Which, yeah, I downloaded that patch. I have an HDR compatible TV. I have the LG 608500. It's a 2016 TV with HDR 4K resolution, all that good stuff. And I downloaded the patch. Now, there was one thing that struck me. First of all, when I turned on the settings for HDR, I noticed that my TV didn't indicate it, because my TV indicates when there's HDR content being played. It will literally pop up on the right side of the screen, the upper right part of the screen, and say HDR, or HDR content has started playing. It didn't do that with the PlayStation 4. Nor did I notice any color change. And I watched a few videos of other people trying it, and they were saying that they don't know what apps or games work with it because they didn't see anything. So, are they going to release HDR games, like new ones that are going to do it? Because like none of my old games do it. Even Madden, I tried Madden, which is a more recent game. That doesn't do it. What games do it? I don't know. So anyway, I have the Samsung 4K Blu-ray player up here. And this guy has HDR support because I have a 4K Blu-ray movie. And 4K Blu-ray movies all run HDR. That is one of their selling points of 4K movies. They have the better color that looks more natural. Better vibrancy, better blacks, things like that. That's what HDR does. So they all boast about that for every 4K Blu-ray. Now I know you guys are wondering, why did I buy a $300 Blu-ray player and not the Xbox One S? So if you guys are new, I hate Microsoft and I will not support their consoles again. I had the 360, they did me dirty, and I said I will not support their consoles. I'm a man of my word. I don't like to be a liar, and so I'm not getting it. Two, they don't have any games that I want to play on the Xbox One. All of them are, pretty much the majority of them are going to be on my PC, and they're going to run a little better. Not look much better, because they typically don't make them look much better than the Xbox, but they sometimes run better. Three, the Blu-ray player overall is actually better on the Samsung than the Xbox One S. I mean, that thing is just a little rinky-dink download app. Well, this guy is a legit 4K Blu-ray player, so it has better color output, better quality as well, and a way better upscaler. Like 1080p on this thing looks amazing. It upscales it to 4K, and it looks almost 4K. It's crazy. But anyway, let's get to the video. So as you can see, I got Batman vs Superman, the Ultra Blu-ray in here, and you're going to see on the upper right side of the screen up there, it's going to say HDR. It's going to let me know that there's an HDR video playing. So watch this. So boom, HDR. So already let me know that there's something with HDR playing, and it's going to pop up again too once the thing goes boom. There it is again, HDR. Now, I don't know if HDR is going to show on this phone. I am going to upload this in 4K, but I don't know if it'll do the video any justice. But this scene is crazy. This is a good movie, too, by the way. This is going to be some spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. But if you haven't seen the movie, you need to go see it. This movie is actually really good. You'll see a lot of people saying that it's bad, but those are typically Marvel fans. I'm not a fan of either, and I like this movie. And I actually enjoyed this movie slightly. I actually just enjoyed it more than Civil War. I thought this was better than Civil War. I'm sorry for everyone. Everybody's going to be flipping out about that. But I actually like this better than Civil War. It's darker, grittier, it's got blood, it's rated R. Now, you definitely want to get the Blu-ray version, the Ultimate Edition, because it will make the movie make more sense, but you got to have 3 hours worth of time to watch it. But this is a really good movie. I do recommend it. I watched it about 5 times now. And Ben Affleck is a beast Batman. He is a beast Batman. I like him as Batman. He looks just like the Arkham Asylum game Batman. It looks just like him. He got the booty hole in his chin. Everything, the super thick chin, he fits Batman from the Arkham Asylum games and the Arkham City and all that stuff. And he even fights like him too. It's pretty good. But anyway, I don't want to show all this, even though this is an amazing looking scene, as you can see with all the light and the flashes and stuff going on. It looks pretty good. And in 4K, as you can see, the detail is pretty good. Even on this phone, it shows off a lot of detail. You can see a lot of the scratches and stuff on his armor, and it looks pretty good. But anyway, let's get to the PS4 now. Where's my daggone remote? Where is it? Okay, boom. So we're going to switch over to, and yeah, that's pretty cool, right? Only LG does that because of the best TVs out there. I just want to say that. Anyway, boom. Get my PS4 remote. Let's turn this whole on. So now, with the PS4 turns on, you're going to notice that it doesn't even, oh, cute doggy. Yeah, my TV does that when nothing's playing. But as you see, the PS4 comes on, it doesn't say anything about HDR. Now, I already have the HDR set on because I tried to sucker out. But as you see, it doesn't. Get out of here, mouse. Oh, shoot, there you go. Get that out of here. Alright. So as you see, nothing pops up on the screen that says HDR. Now, everybody don't be sending me no daggone invites. I don't even play the sucker online like that. So you'll be wasting your time. Plus, I'm probably not just going to add you unless I think you're really cool and I know who you are. So anyway, let's see here. Plus, I'm barely on this PlayStation. I mean, it's rare that I'm on it. Alright, so you go to sound and screen, SBAL. You go to audio, video output, whatever. Now, as you see, HDR is set to automatic. That means that the sucker is supposed to be working. Deep color output is supposed to be on. Now, the funny thing about it, typically to get HDR to work, you gotta have an HDMI 2.0, because that's the only cables that can push that color range, the deep color range. PlayStation 4 only has 1.4 HDMI, not 2.0. So apparently, the firmware is supposed to make it so it works, but it does nothing. So I can even turn this off. Watch this. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna turn it back on. Watch this. So I turn it off, turn it back on. There's no difference. There's no difference in the color at all. My TV doesn't even notice it. So I don't know, man. I feel like Sony's, blowing more smoke up our butts. Sus. So I don't understand, man. They just been lying recently. Sony, you're looking real bad, man. Like you guys, everybody was thinking you guys were for the gamer. I wasn't. I knew better. I know you're a company. And companies do not care about the gamers. They're caring about money. That is what you guys care about. That's what keeps you guys going, is money. You could try the fake stuff, all you want, but I wasn't. I was already down. I knew that you guys had DRM and everything ready to go, but then as you saw what happened to Microsoft, you hurried up and got rid of it, which is why you had to download the patch. I even said that in the video when they first said that, back in the E3 2013. I said that, and people ridiculed me and came at me about it. I'm like, dude, there's a reason why it's a huge patch, is to get rid of that DRM. But whatever. I said DMR. I'm thinking of Halo. But anyway, man, let me know how you feel in the comment section below. If you have an HDR ready TV, have you tried it out and have you gotten any games to to work with HDR. Now, don't say, oh yeah, the colors look different to me, just because you assume they're looking different. You might want them to look different, but as you see, the proof is in the pudding. I just showed you. It doesn't do anything. My TV doesn't recognize HDR. It does nothing. What was that? But anyway, this is your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic, Michael Jordan Gaming. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'm gone. Bye.